All right, we've got another great presentation for you today. We're going to go over the principles of marketing strategy. Okay, this is going to be all about how do you get your product and your service in front of your audience. So let's jump right in. As always, what is a marketing strategy exactly? So I just touched on it a little bit. It's really about how do you get your product or service in front of your desired audience, because it's not enough to get it in front of anybody, right? Because not everyone wants what you're offering. It's about getting it in front of the right audience. Not only the people that are interested, but the people that actually are prepared to purchase from you. Okay, there's a huge difference. And a part of that is your marketing funnel. We're jumping the gun a little bit, but your marketing funnel really takes into account where people are in the buying process, right? Some people are ready to buy today. They want what you're offering and they have the money to purchase it. But other people, maybe they're interested, maybe they're still looking around, so they're not really a warm lead, so to speak, right? They're not a hot lead. They're not ready to go right now. They need a little bit more information. Maybe they want to shop around. So that takes all of that into account. And the spider web is really a cool way of visualizing it, right? I mean, you really want to get people from the outskirts to the center, okay, where they're taking action and they're purchasing. All right, and there's many different ways to capture people and to put them inside of your funnel to get them focused on what you're offering and to consider making that purchase and making that decision. So your marketing strategy is really the process and the systems for putting that all together, okay, and making it really scalable so that you're not just getting a few clients, you're getting as many clients as you can handle as a business. And you're really building out your strategy and processes to scale, to grow, to improve and get better and better and better. So that's what we're going to discuss today. And the first step is really discovery, right? There's so many different elements involved in your marketing strategy. The first step is really getting out there and doing some research. You know, first looking inwardly at your business and saying, okay, we have this offering, we have this product, we have this service. What is it about it that really makes it unique? What is the value that we're offering? What are we proposing to these clients, prospective clients and customers? Okay, what are we telling them about us that makes us different than our competitors? Or maybe we don't have any competitors. That would be part of the message of the unique value proposition. And the easiest way to do that is to go out and speak to customers. Okay, you want to figure out what your ideal customer is, who that person is, how much money they have, where are they online and offline. Okay, you want to know what their habits and behaviors are so you can align yourself in their world, in their experience. You know, you can go where they are and you can make it so that you're harmonizing your messaging so that they understand and are receiving what you're saying. And you do this amongst many channels. Your channels are your delivery methods. It's kind of like, a plane versus a train versus an automobile. Those are different channels and modes of reaching certain destinations. And that's what you have in your marketing strategy. You may have direct mail, you may have emails, you may have print, social media, you may have face to face conversations. There's so many different ways to reach your ideal customers in mass. Okay, not only one on one, all right, but in mass, okay, to reach high level clients and customers, whether they're individuals who buy in bulk, meaning they buy maybe multiple products from you, or multiple packages of services, or maybe it's just a huge group, a certain cohort or sector of the market that you're targeting. And that's what you're going to do with your channels. You're going to focus in, you're going to hone in on those people. So, there are certain things that are going to come into play. Environmental factors in your industry. Okay, right now in your industry, are people buying services and offerings and products like yours? Are they not? Why? What's going on in their businesses that's making what you're offering a solution that they're considering? What's the economic environment? It's just like in, buying a home for the first time. If it's a buyer's market, that means there's a lot of properties for sale. So that means that for the buyer, anyone who's trying to buy a home in that market, they're going to get a better deal. But if it's a seller's market, that means there's not a lot of homes in the market. That means that they can raise their prices because there's scarcity involved. These are all things that you want to take into consideration as you're doing that initial research. Really take these things into account because they're going to be the foundation of your marketing strategy. And then you're going to develop your approach. See, this is kind of like you get all those research elements, you get all that background information, and it's like you're starting a research paper, but you're starting to figure out how you're going to communicate to your ideal customers where they are. And all of your ideas and assumptions and theories are going to come into line, and you're going to start lining them up into a process, into a system. You're going to start honing in on that specific channel that's right for you. You're going to figure out what things need to happen, when they need to happen, the order of operations. You're going to really understand what messages go where, and the words that your ideal customers are using that they respond to. This is when you start figuring out the correct approach, okay, for your specific channel. You just want to line everything up, and then it's ready to go. It's ready to distribute. It's ready to press the green button, the red or green button, whichever you have for your business. It's ready to launch, okay? It's time for you to get that message out there, and that could be multiple things, like I mentioned before. If you're doing marketing over social media, that could be doing some social media scheduling, distributing your messages over social media. That could be paid advertising on social media. That could be working with influencers on or off social media. That could be doing email lists. That could be doing partnerships. It could be so many things, but really what you're doing is you're figuring out what that channel is, and it's time to go. And there's always apps for that, right? There's so many different resources and tools that you can use nowadays, whether you're doing email marketing, whether you're doing partnerships, whether you're doing social media, or whatever you're trying to do in your business. There are already software as a service offerings out there to really streamline your business. I mean, we live in an amazing time to be a business owner and an entrepreneur. You can do so much so quickly and really make quantum jumps in your success and in what you're trying to achieve. So as you're putting all of your systems in place, you're trying to figure out your messaging, what's differentiating your business from others. You're understanding what your customers want, what their pain points are, and how you can solve them. You're being able to leverage past performances and other experiences going on in the industry. You're able to have those conversations and weave it all together into a streamlined communication point. You understand which channels to use and which ones you shouldn't use, and maybe there's certain times where you can switch off between the two. You're learning, you're getting better, you're knowing when to outsource, and you're figuring out which tools and resources and technology can make what you're doing more powerful and stronger. And this all goes into something extremely important in creating your marketing strategy, the law of 80/20. And this was kind of discovered by a guy named Vilfredo Pareto. Brilliant guy. He really, in a nutshell, uncovered the power of how a little can turn into a lot. And it's one of those natural laws of nature. Being able to take a little and turn it into a lot. How can a small affect the many? And with the law of 80/20, that's really what it's capturing. What it's saying is 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. So as you're putting together your marketing strategy, keep this top of mind, because what you'll come to find is that with all these options for communications and messaging and channels and distribution methods and ways of going about getting in front of your ideal customer, you can really narrow that down to a very few, if not one thing that's really going to make the big jump for you. And you don't know what that is, right? That's the thing about marketing. Unless you have spoken and done your due diligence with your clients and your potential customers who you think are your ideal prospects, you won't know. You'll just be guessing, unless you have some kind of inside information. So you really have to get out there. And this is where failure is okay, because it's leading you towards the answer, the solution. It's getting you closer to where you want to be, okay? As long as you're learning from your lessons. So keep the law of 80/20 extremely top of mind, because as you're moving through your marketing strategy and putting the pieces together, you might start to see patterns, and the more you attune yourself to allowing them to show up, the more you're likely you are to find them. So this is a very powerful law. I can't stress that enough. And then what you're going to want to do is focus on converting and optimizing. So this is really a depiction of, it's a wheel. It's just one big wheel of never ending iterations and process improvement. Okay, let's say you're running ads. You're going to constantly want to figure out how to make those ads better. Let's say you're sending out email copy. You're going to want to constantly figure out ways to tweak your email copy and your communication, your voice and tone, to make it resonate more with your audience, to make your conversion rates increase. Because it's a feedback loop. The more success you have, the more success you're going to have. You know, you make these incremental gains, but they lead to exponential gains in the future, right? You can't even see it up front because they look so small. And that's when A/B testing comes in. Whatever you're doing, you're going to want to see, is it working? You want to track it. You want to keep metrics. And you might have seen one of our other videos about that. But really, if you're tracking your metrics, you're putting yourself in a position to improve them. If you're not putting yourself in a position to improve them. You're really setting yourself up for failure. So what you want to do is, in your processes and your marketing strategy, leave areas of opportunity. And that's by tracking your metrics, figuring out opportunities to optimize and increase your conversions. Okay? So with that in mind, these are the principles of marketing strategy. We would love to dive in deeper with you for your business specifically. So go ahead and schedule a free strategy session with us today. We'd be happy to help take your business to the next level and help you lead with authority. Thank you.